Hello, Mr. Brisket. You know what I just got a hold of, Mr. Brisket? My daughter's son, he got his first girlfriend. And a girl in high places. Anyway, came over with this bag, which you don't see out here, of freshly baked rye bread. It was a loaf that was sliced. And oh man, you put some butter on that puppy. Damn good. Rye bread. You don't see much. You're certainly not going to see any freshly baked rye bread out here. Now, the kid's mom is married to an Irish gentleman. Oh my God. So we know where our rye bread is going to come from in the future. I really thoroughly enjoyed a couple of pieces of that because you just can't find good bread out here unless somebody personally bakes it. And we used to know a gal, and that's not what the show is about, but we used to know a gal who used to bake only on order. She won't unless she has a number of people ordering. There's nothing like bread fresh out of the oven. You must agree with that. Yeah, it was a rye bread. Oh, that is a treasure. Real rye bread. I mean, this tasted really good. It was nicely sliced, had the crust on the end, and we now have a connection for rye bread. Because I tell you what, I do like bread, not any bread, and the shit that they sell in the store is crap. Let's face it. Let's face that reality. Yeah, not tempted to build a small brick oven to make your own bread. I wish you would. Oh, it's making good bread is an art. It's an art. It's really an art. You are blessed to have a rye bread and the teat to handle the crust. Yeah, so far I'm lucky with that. But I'm glad that her kid doesn't like rye bread. Maybe the brother does, but I said good. I said it's more for us. It wasn't a lot there, but you know, it was a good, Filipino lady marries an Irish guy. Irish rye bread is what it was. So, obviously he's done this before and he teaches his wife to bake this. Now I'm saying, oh, God, that's what I mean about connections. You got to have connections. I don't care what it is out here. But I'm just going to tell you a little story here. And unfortunately, guys, I got bad news for you. I'm kind of thinking this is my last show, so I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, certainly for a while, I think, and not by any enforcement by my lawyer or my girlfriend, but I really think that I'm just a little bit played out. As much as I actually enjoy doing shows on here, I think I got to put the my foot on the brake for quite a bit. That doesn't mean I'll never be on ever, but I think I have to put my foot on the brake. But before speaking of brakes, let me tell you a story. Okay. Um, I was listening to this British chap's show, and he's so right. He's so right. In fact, I'll listen to this guy more often, actually. Now, he got into a little bit of an accident on his Kawasaki 250, whatever it was. He was going to make a turn, okay, and well ahead of time. So the other guy on a bike, a Filipino guy, okay, there was plenty of time, to make a turn. Anyway, one thing turned into another. The other guy kind of went into him and definitely caused some pain, a bad ankle, and what have you. So he was kind of hurt. Now the other guy, the Filipino, was like, once the police came. Now listen to this. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, on the floor, oh, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. Let me tell you how this works and how does he explain that to me. Okay, not to me, but to his audience. Okay, what you have to do here, unfortunately, in the Philippines, is that um, remember this is not a lawless land, absolutely not. But the law generally is not on your side out here, not generally. Okay, now this guy could have fought this, but when the police officer came up to him, he grilled him like you wouldn't believe. All right, what happened? Do you have a license? Where'd you get your license? What kind of office? What kind of person did you get your license? Do you have your passport? Do you have? And he was grilling the British guy. Would he have done that with a Filipino? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you his story. Meanwhile, of course, the Filipino was moaning and groaning, seeing his paycheck at the end of the day. You know, didn't work out that way, but it was clear to the Brit that he's being pressured by this. And the police officer eventually kind of seen the light of day and knew that the British guy was in the right. So, but the police officer, do you want to go to the Bronx? Kept on pushing him. Do you want to go to Barangay, make a report? Do you want to go to the hospital? He said, no, 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 no. I'm okay, sir. I'm okay, sir. So you don't want to report this? I said, no, the damage on the bike, it's bad. I can fix that. And he was very smart for doing so because the Filipino was looking for a paycheck. And chances are he would have. And if he had any injuries, the British guy would have had to pay, even if it was not the British guy's fault. So what the British guy did, he just said, no, no, I'm okay. Just leave it be. He went over and shook the hand of the Filipino guy. And the Filipino guy knew he was in the wrong, but, he didn't want to be charged. He knew he was wrong. So he didn't do anything about it. So the Brit figured, well, I'm not going to go through all this rigmarole because I know what's going to happen. Either the guy's going to hold it against me personally or he's going to do a lawsuit on me differently than the way they parted, and just shook his hand, took his damage to his ankle, took the damage with his motorcycle, and left it at that. And that actually was a smart thing to do. The other example was if you're down on a street, you're on your motorcycle, and somebody, and again, it doesn't have to just apply to expats, but a lot of it does. If you're on a motorcycle, you got money. So if you hit a pedestrian, someone who's on a sidewalk, Filipino or what, and they went just too close to his bike, so they got hit by the bike, and the person on the bike was going sort of fast and did some damage to the person who was walking off the sidewalk in a daze, in a coma. And I see this a lot. Believe me, that's why I don't drive. What do you think I'm telling you guys why I don't have a car? So what happens is it's assumed that the person who was on a motorcycle has more money than the pedestrian. So henceforth, the damage, is going to go toward the guy on a motorcycle because it's assumed that he has more money. Okay. And that's kind of like the way the law goes out here and how it's, how things are looked at out here. Sometimes it's better in an accident situation to, even if you know you're in the right and the person's in the wrong, you got two questions to ask yourself. Is it worth it pursuing the person who caused your motorcycle accident, dealing with them on a personal level of begrudgment or anger? Is it worth doing it, even though you know you're in the right? And if you remember, Philly in the Philippines gave a story. Sorry, I'm not reading comments yet. My eyes are not even on the phone. I'm just gazing off into the stars. He got into the situation, but I believe it was him. He was always wrecking his car. I don't know why, but that could be a story in itself for all I know. He had cameras in the car, and it was a situation. Well, no, actually, what happened was there was a street camera. My apologies. There was a street camera, and he got into an accident, I believe, with another car. That was Philly's story. And the accident wasn't caused by Philly. Okay. They insisted, however, that it was his fault. Again, unfortunately, there are people in every country, not just here, but it does happen here a lot, that they're looking for a paycheck due to an accident, and but they couldn't prove that they were in the right. But fortunately, there was a street camera right on the corner that recorded it. So it proved, I think, that Philly was in the right. Oh, and they got mad and pointing a finger and everything else. Sometimes in an accident situation, you just got to not walk away from it. Literally, I mean, figuratively, walk away from it and just figure that, hey, you're just going to have to repair that damage on your car or and what I hear a lot is too is I know somebody that's also a driver that's had motorcycles and other things dent up their car. So what are you going to do? You're going to get out of the car and have a fight with them? There's going to be a big argument and maybe get a knife in your back or something. I mean, you can't, in this country, sometimes when it comes to personal injury, you have to walk away from it because you'd be safer to do so. Because if they see you as a foreigner, they're going to assume that you have more money than the Filipino, which is not always true. A lot of Filipinos have more money than sand on a beach. However, generally that's the way it works. Okay, questions are, let's see, hold on. Okay, let me scroll. Pardon me. Not tempted to build a small, okay. Do not drive any vehicle without a camera. Yes. Master Puppet says, you better have a dash cam if driving here. Mine's always on. Master Puppet says, a tricycle hit me. I've been waiting 4 years to be paid. Good thing I have insurance. That's when I installed a 360-degree dash cam. I know I'll never be paid. Yeah, chances are you what? You would not. You got to use your mind on this. You got to use your noodle. Like just when something's borrowed, you're never going to get it back. Now, even my daughter's son, who's in Cebu, wanted to, for school, and normally I wouldn't mind, but wanted to borrow my laptop, but it's not borrowing. He's going to have years and years of schooling in, and it's going to become his computer, but I have all kinds of files on there that I don't want to get rid of. You know, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't use the laptop very much, but when somebody asks to borrow something out here, chances are you're never going to see it again. They're going to figure, well, whatever, they just gave it to me and I'm going to use it. And and if I wanted to give them the laptop, I just give them it. But I just got too many files on there. Too many files. So I don't want to set it back to manufacturer's original. I just got a lot of files. A lot of files. And we do occasionally use it. So basically, you just got to say politely, no, I don't think that's a good idea, and leave it at that. Because that happened to us once before when something was borrowed. One of our kids borrowed something from me, and I never got it back, and he assumed that I gave him it when that was not the situation. Whatever it was, I told him, just go ahead and keep it. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Just go ahead. If you really need it, keep it, and sometimes what you got to do. But that's why I do not drive. I'd rather be a passenger because no matter what happens, it ain't going to be my fault. I'm getting too old to go fuck around with driving. I'll be honest, I've only taken that electric bike out a couple of times, to be honest with you. The kids use it. It's like theirs. And we need rides. Hey, give us a ride downtown. I like it better that way. I like it a lot better that way. Uh, okay, the tricycle hits you and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I was tempted so many times to get a vehicle, either a truck or more likely a smaller vehicle. But um, maybe I could buy Tim K's FJ Cruiser, huh? He's got everything up for sale. No, never. Look, I'll be honest with you. If I was a lot younger, it's not that I don't trust myself on the road, but I might make a bad judgment or get distracted or something because there's so much to distract you. You got to have your eyes out all the time. A kid, it's so common they run into the road. I don't want to be responsible for running over and killing a kid or a family. It's happened so many times here by foreigners. I don't want to have that on my shoulders. If it was a different story, I was still in Hawaii. Yeah, I needed to get around. There was no taxi cabs where I lived. There was none. Believe it or not. No, you had to have a car. They had an occasional bus that came through the community, but that was it. They ran 2 times a day. So you had to base everything on that, unless you had a friend to drive you around. But here, I don't advise anybody to drive out here because if somebody caused an accident that caused injury to you, I really hope you have your own insurance because they are not going to pay for your hospital bills. That ain't going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Well, we have an electric one. You can only go so far with it, but it's worked for us. Oh, God, yeah. Now there is, man. I make a comment to Gilda all the time. Another, look at these strikes. Oh, yeah, it's become real popular for personal family. There's even someone that uses it to make money. Of course, he has to recharge that often, but it doesn't cost him any gasoline. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's caught on. You don't look dorky, you don't look funky, you don't look. It is like the happening thing here in this town that you brought it up. I'm seeing more and more and more families and individual people driving these e-bikes. Absolutely, all different forms too. The sportier types. I mean, I never seen so many before. Every time I go downtown or on the road, I'm going to see somebody on an e-bike. So it's caught on. It's caught on. We paid 70,000 for this. 70,000 pesos, whatever that comes to. 70,000 or 75, 70 or 75. And I'll bet you after a year though, probably have to replace the batteries. But just think of it, if you had to do a gasoline engine, how much you'd pay in a year, if you use it a lot. So it's pretty zippy too. I will tell you that. You got three gears, low, one, two, three. Your slowest speed is on there is one, two, middle speed, three is high speed. And you could go about, I think, 40 kilometers per hour, something like that on there. That's not bad. It's pretty zippy because it's a three wheeler. They have them, I think, in four wheelers. I'd rather have that. But it means that if you really go over an incline, you could possibly tip over. So you got to be careful. But it's worth it. I mean, so far it's been great for us. What's the charge sheet that J Abo? I don't know what you talk about a charge sheet. I don't know. I guess he's really worried about me. I don't know what he's worried about because of his. My mind's gone here. Oh, yeah, that thing. I have no idea what he's talking about. A charge sheet. Oh, something presented by Barry. More likely. Yeah. But don't get into an accident out here. I mean, it's easier said than done, but as long as you got transportation to get around locally, you're fine. And of course, if you want to go into the big city, you're outside of Cebu or Manila, there's always a way to get there and let the responsibility be on the driver, not you, because I don't think you want to be involved with that. Crazy how court documents become YouTube public record. Yeah. You think? Yeah, Barry's very good at that. Yeah. Jay's just niffed off, that's all. He's just niffed. Because I did a show in regards to him and put him in his place where he was saying that I ran away from Hawaii on the civil charges. And I did, if you didn't see it already, I did a show addressing Jay and all his bullshit head on like a fucking bull. And I said I did not run away from Hawaii. I was in the Philippines when they had the court hearing and they put some civil charges on me. And I actually did attend on Zoom. But apparently, to my knowledge, I was not allowed to do that. So technically, I didn't run away from anything. I'd finished selling the house or found a buyer. And as I explained on the video, if you didn't see it, just to go into short detail, is that I got caught in Hawaii with the COVID. I wasn't intending to stay there very long. However, I was over a year, as it turned out. And when the Philippines opened its pearly gates, and I got all my information together and got my vaccinations as Q codes, everything that they required, I went back to the Philippines. Nobody was running away from a case because I lived in the Philippines. I was just visiting in Hawaii and taking care of the house and finding a buyer for the house. I didn't move back to Hawaii. I was living with my partner in the Philippines. And I was simply heading back home when it opened up. There's nothing more clear than that. Okay. I'm not even getting that. Stevie Wonder could see that. Nothing but retaliations. Even Stevie Wonder could see that. Yeah, I know. It's all it is. Everything's retaliatory on here. Everything is retaliation. It's all retaliation, man. And quite frankly, I've had enough of it. As you'll see my ending statement, as I just made it in the beginning, but everything's retaliation. When you call out somebody on a lie, they get upset with you. Personally, I don't give a sick rat's ass about Jay or what he does with women, how many women he gets, how much he drinks or smokes. Fate will reach him at some point in time of what he does to himself. Jay was only good for me when he needed me for information, and what you guys don't know is he used to contact me on Messenger, always trying to ask me for information about somebody or give me a name or address or something when he was trying to retaliate against somebody else. Jay won't tell you that, though. I got rid of him on my Messenger because I knew he was two-faced. I got rid of him. We talked on Messenger. Bet you didn't know that. Mama's boy Jay, yeah. Well, as long as you guys remember that, that's all that matters. And I also mentioned on my video, and I know you guys saw that, because that one was, I believe, on camera. Remember when Jay had a fucking mental breakdown on camera? On camera. And I think that's when he just was under the attack of Aloe and everybody, and he couldn't take it anymore. And he was crying and everything on camera. He was having a fucking mental breakdown on camera. Do you guys remember that? Yes or no? Am I putting words into your mouth? Tell me if you think I'm putting words. Tell me if that didn't happen. Tell me if that didn't happen. That was also a big thing too. I think it might have been having to do with all the attacks that Aloe and everybody made upon his father's death and what they had to say. M. Lawrence says, yes, totally happened. Yeah. Yeah, when they said he was dead. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to see I got some people agreeing with me on this. You understand that, Jay? In other words, I'm not the only one that heard this. So quit your fucking bitching, man. Be a fucking man. Instead of a fucking Joey. Instead of being a Joey. The fact is, you broke down on camera, dude. Apparently, you have some emotional issues. Take care of them. Don't worry about me. And don't worry about what medicine I take. If I need a fucking medicine, I take it. If I got a problem with the heart, I'll take a heart medicine too. So fuck your shit about medicines and what I take and what they're defined as being. It's none of your business anyway. At least I'm proactive. I'm proactive in doing things to take care of myself as best as I can. Maybe not in perfection, but at least I'm not shoving 3 packs of cigarettes down my fucking lungs a day. At least I'm not fucking drinking myself into fucking oblivion. Motherfucker. Jay can't afford to talk. He's been one of the biggest embarrassments on here, ever. On the top list. The powdered sugar episode? I'm not sure about that. He was snorting powdered sugar? Oh, he said, I've had enough. Right. Jay, there are no redeeming values in you at all. Hate to tell you that, mate. You have no redeeming values at all. You're a womanizer, which is true. Which is true. Strike me dead with a fucking bolt of lightning right now. It's a cloudy day. If that isn't a true statement. You are a womanizer by your own demonstration, not by my words. You treat Filipino women, and maybe women in general, for all I know, but I can only talk about Filipino women that I know for sure. I've seen your shows. I followed you a long time. You are a womanizer. Sue me for that. You are a fucking womanizer. There's nobody that would disagree with me. Nobody. You treat women like shit. No wonder you hung around with the other guy. You both had something in common. Both had something in common. You don't have to retract any messages, Mr. Lawrence. Not on my show. You don't have to retract anything. Not on here. Your comments are welcome. You spent the time to put the comment on, leave it on. You said what you needed to say. Don't be afraid of anybody on here. As I said, Jay can't afford to talk about anybody. Look who he used to hang around with. Another fucking loser. Losers tend to hang around with each other. They all hang around at fucking bars. I don't go to bars. I got more respect for myself than that. Some seedy, smelly, urinating smelling bars, thick of steel, beer, smells, and alcohol, cigarette smoke, which even I don't like, being in a place with a lot of cigarette smoke, and I smoke, and I don't even like being in a crowded place without ventilation, without fucking, having all that smoke in there. He smokes in his fucking house. That's how much respect he has for himself, or anybody that might be around him. I do not smoke in my house. Ever. Ever. Why? Because I have respect for my partner and her family. Sure, I can say, yeah, I bought this house. I could do whatever I wanted, like Bummer did when he's living in a fucking crematorium. And you say, who cares about the infant if it bothers the infant or it's unhealthy for the infant? That's what he said, and you remember that. These guys are all fucking creeps. He did that, and you all saw that. You all seen that. I don't make stories up out of my hat. This all comes from their own shows. He didn't give a fuck about the baby, even helping out by diapers or milk. He didn't want to do that. The girl had to go to a parent's place to eat. Because he wanted to buy his booze and cigarettes. He didn't give a fuck about her, and he didn't give a fuck about the baby. These are the creeps that are very tight on here together. That's why they hang around with each other. Creeps hang along with creeps. Brevis is friendly with the other guy in jail. Birds of a feather. They stick together. Now I'm telling you how I feel. Never held me back before, never will again. I base my facts or my statements on what I've seen and what I heard. What's their excuse? They make up shit. They made up more stories about me. They should write a novel on me. I got to be the most fascinating person in the world if I had done everything that I've been accused of doing. I'd be in a Guinness Book of World Records. If I did everything that I was alleged to do or be or say, but that don't stop me from being real. I'm not going to make up a bullshit story. I even said that, hey, I shouldn't have a couple of thousand subscribers. Did I not say that? Did I not say that out of my mouth? I said that I should not have no couple of thousand subscribers on here. I said that somebody more likely bought it because I said there's no way. I said it, not anybody else. I said it, that I should not have a couple of thousand subscribers. Unless somebody's actually buying it, and that's exactly what probably happened because they don't want me to leave YouTube, but they got a big surprise coming. Yeah. It's different when I say it. It makes a major difference coming from my mouth. Yeah, I know I don't have a couple of thousand subscribers. I don't think so. It's not impossible, but it's improbable. Okay? How's that for honesty? How's that for honesty? That I said that doesn't have some factual value to it, that does not have background on, and, can't be dismissed by the very fact that you've witnessed it. So Jay did break down on camera. Everybody remembers that. And Jay, if you're going to put a show on and deny that, then you really are a piece of shit. You really are a scumbag, a scallywag, a bloke, and you're a little Joey kangaroo. Because everybody's seen that. You had a fucking mental breakdown on camera, Mr. J. And for those that've seen it, don't be afraid to say you've seen it. I have, and everybody else has seen it. Sounds like, well, you're pointing your finger to me and saying I have all these problems, or you're on medicine, or you're on this and that. Well, apparently you're on medication because if you did have an epileptic fit, Barry came on and said that no, Jay had a reaction to a medication he was taking. So you're on meds. Oh, you're on meds. That's got to be a bad thing, Jay, right? Because I take prescription medications? It's a bad thing. Is that according to the consensus out here? But wait a minute, Jay. You were taking medications according to your good buddy, Barry Lee Jordan. That you had a reaction. That was his last statement. Could that have happened? Yeah, I can believe that could have happened. Maybe it wasn't epilepsy, but it resembled a seizure. It would make one believe that it was indeed a seizure. That's common sense. However, you were taking medication. So why don't you tell us what kind of medication you were taking that would cause you to have symptoms of a fucking seizure, Joey? The shit that comes out of your mouth, Jay, you're just as bad as the other guy. You ain't no fucking different in a lot of ways. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you know very well what I'm talking about. You ain't no fucking different, man. You should go over there and kiss his lily white ass. Because you're two birds of a fucking feather. Kiss and make up. Maybe Barry will ask you to suck his dick, because he's always asking me to suck his dick. Somebody do the guy a fucking favor, but you have to be male, because he's always asking a dude, whether it's me or anybody, to come over and suck his dick. Is there something to this? I don't know. I'm just saying that Barry uses that terminology almost every show of his. Come over and suck his dick. I guess he likes to get his dick sucked. But it's always males that he's making reference to getting his dick sucked. Why is that? So why is he with a female then? If he likes getting his dick sucked by men? That would be a question to ask, right? Yeah. Was Jay taking skin whitening pills? You are what you are, man. In and out. That's it. That's who you are. You're in and out. That's who you are. You're not going to change a goddamn thing. You got a fucked up personality. You're fucking insane. If you're fucking a piece of shit, if you're a piece of shit, demonstrate to be a piece of shit, act like a piece of shit, speak like a piece of shit, then you're a piece of shit. Bottom line. Like father, like son. Ha ha ha. I know what you mean by that, Master of Puppets. I won't elaborate on that. I'll just take your word, your commentary, not mine. But thanks for sharing that thought. Yeah, I know what you mean. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree with some people. Gotcha, bud. Gotcha. So, Jay, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. In plain English. Not in Aborigine. In plain fucking English. Shut the fuck up. That's all. Shut the fuck up. You don't have any proper or positive comeback on anything. I call you out for what you fucking are. Now you're falling apart, but don't have another fucking manic moment again. Please don't do that. You almost sounded like your last show that I heard, at least the last show I heard. You were having a manic moment on there. We don't want you to turn into what happened in the past when you just broke down on camera and you had a complete fucking mental breakdown. Are you going to deny that, Jay? Tell me, are you going to deny that? Be honest if you have it in you. You can't deny it because it was witnessed by too many people. And if it's witnessed by people, it must be true. There's nothing you can say to come back on this. Nada. Nothing. I saw it. Other people saw it. You had a mental fucking breakdown when they were attacking your father. And as I said, and I shouldn't have even done that, I came to your fucking aid, didn't I? I defended your fucking sick ass. I kind of regret that now. I came. I didn't think it was right what they said. And I came to your corner, Mr. J. Stillman. I came to your corner. Did I not? Did I not? Tell the truth. I certainly did. So shut your fucking mouth. You just want to join the big boys club, right? You want everybody to agree with you when what you're saying is just as untruthful as the other guy. You had a fucking mental breakdown on camera. That's a fact. As far as you have an epilepsy, that's debatable. But it turned into a form of seizure, didn't it? Because you had an anaphylactic shock, right? As Barry said, right? To a medication. So that means you're on medication. You're making fun of me that I take medications. But you do. Gee, I wonder what you're taking. Manic breakdowns on camera, super sensitivity. Sounds like you got a few issues yourself there, Jay. So it sounds like to me. So don't talk about me, Jay. You got nothing to talk about me. Nothing at all. I present myself as who I am, and I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I don't lie about shit like this, especially when I see it with my own fucking eyes. I may have a bad ear, but there's nothing wrong with my eyes. And my hearing ain't that bad. I couldn't hear what you say on your shows. A lot of people witness your mental breakdown. So perhaps you got some manic issues or something going on with you, as would be demonstrated by that one show where you had an actual mental fucking breakdown. You had a mental breakdown, Jay. You did. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. You're no better than the other fucking blokes behind your fucking computer, dishing out all this fucking shit. Yeah, right. If Mick Fisher or somebody approached you, you'd be running the other fucking way. And there's a number of people that you ran away from on YouTube through the years. Isn't that true, Jay? Isn't that true, Jay? I'm asking you a question. You could answer that later on. I'm asking you it again. Did you not have situations where you ran your mouth and pretend to be a tough guy? And you never met up with any one of these fucking people? Is that true or not, Mr. J. Stillman? It's a yes or no question. Yes or no? And didn't you start going to the gym because you wanted to look tough? But yet you continue to fucking chain smoke your fucking cigarettes and obliterate your liquor with so much drinking. So much drinking. And you're pointing a finger at trying to find imperfection with me when you need to take a good fucking look at yourself, Jay. Take a damn good look at your Neanderthal self. My opinion. I can look at somebody and say whether they're pretty or whether I don't find them attractive. It's my opinion. I have the right. I think that you have Aboriginal blood in you. Is that against the law to say that? Do you have something against Aborigines, Jay? Do you? So don't take it personally and defensively. I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful Aboriginal people. Unless it hits home, it bothers you. Other than that, I have no problem with Aborigine people. I have none at all. I don't know any personally, but, I have no problem with them. Why do you have a problem? You should be proud to look, you look like your ancestors, man. What's wrong with that? Born and raised in kangaroo land. The land down under. That's where you're born and raised, mate. Well, you're going to look down on your Aboriginal brothers and sisters from the country, which makes up your origin? Why would you do that? They have a right to be Aboriginal. Even in the Philippines, they got people out here that are native to this country, that live their lifestyle and culture and practices. They even have darker skin. They look a lot different from other Filipinos, but it's the ancestry of the Filipino people here. They live in the mountains. They live in different places. They create their own products to sell down in town, to trade. It's done all over the world. Right here, too. Okay, Country says, that entire group is a bunch of deadbeats. And also, weak men need shelter in a group. Oh, okay. Validation from a bunch of strangers. Pathetic. I agree with you. San Silareto, whatever. Get a DNA test, Jay. What are you hiding? Be proud. If indeed you do have Aboriginal, but all I said, Jay, is that you appear to have some Aboriginal background in your features. That's what I said. I'm not putting down Aboriginal people. It's not where I'm going with this at all. No, sir. You look, other than the skin color, you have Aboriginal features. Now, you should be proud of that. They are the blood and root of Australia. Right, mate? Don't look down on them. Look up to them. Just like in the United States. The Native Americans were the first fucking Americans in the United States. They were looked down on, weren't they? Army took their buffaloes away, told them you can't live here, set up your teepees on a certain piece of land, and that's all we're going to give you. We're going to take everything away from you. The United States did more damage to people than any other country, I'm sure, to their own people. Now, these are Native Americans. They should be honored. That should have been hunted down like dogs. But they were. Their life was taken away from them. Just like when the fucking British came to Hawaii and they took over, and the missionaries came and they took over and they told them, you can't speak English. No, you have to only speak English. You can't dress that way. You can't look that way. And you're going to take on our religion and you can't practice yours. So, in a rare uptake on my ideology of Hawaiians, that is the one thing that I will thoroughly agree on. In fact, it's so odd that they use the British flag as their own flag when it was the British. When it was the British that invaded, and the missionaries that came and invaded Hawaii and took over and put Queen Liliuokalani captive captive in her palace. That's what they did. That's what they did. Learn a little history, folks. Learn about your culture, Jay. Do a little more research in it. You might have bloodline that goes into Aboriginal ties. So what's wrong with that? Huh? I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. Okay. Uh, Country Road said, "Is it me, or does Jay only own two shirts? The guy never changes his clothes." I did notice that too. Yeah. Not the Fed says, "I just noticed. Congrats on the new subs." Don't matter. I'm not going to be on here anyway. And I was honest enough. If you heard the beginning of my show, is how honest I am. I said that there's no fucking way in the world that I have a couple of thousand subs. There's no fucking way. If I didn't buy them, somebody bought them for me. I never said that I'm getting all these new subscribers. There might be some that are new, but I did not buy those subs. Somebody bought them for me because they don't want to see me get off YouTube. They just love my entertainment value. But no, if I was anybody else, I say, I earned those subs. I didn't buy them. They wouldn't come out and say, hey, somebody must have bought those subs. Somebody did. I didn't earn them. No, I did not. How's that for honesty? Jay is the new Ricky. Same shirt travels. Okay, just dropped in. Well, thanks for dropping in, because I'm dropping out. Anyway, it's kind of come down to this point. It's just fruitless. Let me take care of my business at hand, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Jay, I got you on that one, and you know I'm telling the truth. You had a mental breakdown on camera. And I know people remember that. You were very emotionally disturbed in a sense that you're very sensitive, and things get to you too much. You just break down, man. Is that the medications you were taking? Maybe you weren't taking it that day. See, Jay likes it. Other people like to get on my ass about I'm taking medications. I wouldn't take anything unless I felt I needed for some reason. It would help me in some way. One of them helps me sleep. That's what I actually use it for. It happens to be a benzo, and it helps me sleep. I could have taken Ambien. I could have taken any other kind of a sleep aid. Melatonin didn't work well for me. Things like that. I used to take just plain old allergy medicine, Benadryl, but that didn't work very well after a while. When you take something that's going to work for you. Otherwise, why take it? I don't have any embarrassment for taking the meds I do. I take 2 meds a day. That's it. Not 4, not 5, not 10, not 12 like some people. Some people in here, they have heart problems, they have diabetes, they got all kinds of problems. But they won't talk about that, will they, though? No, they wouldn't. Nice to aged scotch works for me. There you go. Whatever works for you, man. You trust it more than Farmer. Well, I'm not saying I trust Farmer because most of that shit is just a band-aid for the real problem. You know, that's all it really is. But as they say, if the bloke ain't broke, then don't fix it. Right, Jay? If you don't think you need fixing, then don't fix yourself. Otherwise, continue to be the asshole that you've been demonstrating on here, and you have been acting like an asshole. I can say that very legally and freely by your own demonstration of what you put on your shows. You come off as being a real asswipe. That's how you come off on YouTube. You do, Jay, you do. Honestly, you do. Then when you can't win an argument, you make shit up like everybody else does. When you push somebody in a corner, they come back by creating false stories and allegations. I've seen this for 10 fucking years, so I know what I'm talking about. And if anybody knows, I certainly do. Yeah, I certainly do. Take care of your own business, Jay. I'll take care of mine. How's that? If the truth hurts and it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. But I don't hold back. I never held back. You make a dumbass statement about me or a false statement, I'm gonna approach you on that issue. You know I am, and I did. That's all I have to say. Do what you want to do. Chain smoke, drink until your liver gives out. Or kidneys. I really don't give a shit, Jay. I don't give about a shit about you. You're not a friend of mine. I never wanted to meet up with you. Never did. I broke off my communication with you on Messenger because I thought you were a two-faced motherfucker. I make those decisions. And I do it very well. And I do it with thought. Sand says, Jay's so quick to boomerang back. Oh, I know. I get enjoyment from that. It's a Barry syndrome is what it is. Barry syndrome. It caught on. It's like that fucking virus, it caught on. Jay doesn't want to be the last man standing is what it is, And that's the way it is with most people on here. You say something about it, they're going to come back and they won't retract their statements because they know they're wrong. But they'll come back and they'll approach what somebody else said. And then it becomes this back and forth thing that's been going on for 10 fucking years on YouTube. We're all familiar with that, aren't we? We sure as hell are. No, Jay's wrong. He's very wrong. And don't put judgment on me, Jay. You're not my fucking judge. Until you got that gown on and that fucking gavel in your hand, don't fucking put judgment on me. Unless you could prove what you're fucking saying. Talking to me about that I ran away from Hawaii when I got a civil case. Civil, Jay. Civil, not criminal. Got it, Jay? Civil, not criminal. I could walk back into Hawaii anytime I want. I'm not going to be arrested for anything. It was a civil judgment. You don't go to jail on a civil judgment. It goes to something called a collection agency, Mr. Stillman. Who's trying to pass him off as he has fucking intelligence. Intelligence of a dead Joey. Makes sense if you're going to say something and use your oxygen, Jay. Nobody fled from Hawaii. My business was done there with the house. It opened up the Philippines. I talked about this earlier. It opened up. I was gone for a year, and it was time to come back home. And I took advantage of it, and I didn't run away from the Zoom camera, but apparently it wasn't good enough for the judge. So he had to make what do you call that? Well, it was a judgment based on supposedly the fact that I wasn't physically, J-Man, I wasn't physically in the courtroom, although I was technically there. Okay? That's the only reason, because I had no opportunity to present evidence. He didn't allow me. There would have been no civil judgment against me. None. If I was physically in that courtroom. But I thought it was okay to go on camera. It's called Zoom. I don't have to repeat it anymore. I said this story earlier. So you're wrong about that assessment you made with me, Jay. You're wrong about everything about me. But Jay's going to be Jay. And you're not a sterling character. You're low class. You act. You know why I say that, Jay? When I use the word low class? Because when you act low class, when you demonstrate how low class you are, when you show such disrespect to Filipinos, which you absolutely do, and you've proved it time and 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 time again. You don't respect these Filipinos. Your whole life is a bunch of debauchery. By your own demonstration on your YouTube channels. How else does anybody make an assessment? Unless they see and they hear you, Jay Stillman, and they have every right to make their own assessment. Whether it's right or wrong, it is what they hear. It is what they see in a lot of cases too, Jay. So stop coming on your thing just to try to get a lot of attention and do the Barry thing. And one guy does a show and the other one comes back on. The other one puts a show. It's old, man. It gets old. That's why it's just so old for me that I'm off. I'm just off. This is the last broadcast unless I really have to come on and say something that was so advantageous to say and can't wait to say or something. I'm done with this for now. I'm done with this. It's taken up too much of my personal time. And contrary to what you might believe, I'm not sitting on my goddamn white ass all day. I do more than most of you do, but you won't admit it. You won't admit it. Yeah. Hit the like button, folks. You heard the man. At least I'm the kind of person that speaks from the truth and not just bullshit to make somebody feel bad. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Jay. Son, you're young enough to be my son. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Jay. That's not my thing. That's not my intent. We used to defended your fucking sorry ass. And I'll keep on bringing it up. I defended your ass when you had that mental breakdown. And you did, on camera. On camera. Try denying that. Boy, I'd love to see the video of that one, folks. If anybody knows my email and you got that video, I will put it back on. I will put it back on. And I know Aloe does, and I know other people do. I know Popeye does. They're not going to send me. Aloe might send me it, but not Popeye. But other people have that video. I want to see that video. And I will come on again. If not just to present that video, just to show fact. I'll do that. I'll do that. So, you know my email address, folks? Most of you do. Send a video. No prayers, send a video. No money, no prayers. Send a damn video. Send a video. That's all I want. Jay, I have no reason to talk about you anymore. It's done. Fess up to who you are and what you do with your life. And personally, as I said, I don't give a rat's fucking ass how much you drink, how much you smoke. I don't really care. And I never cared for you from the beginning, Jay. I'm not even sure why I tried to back you up on that situation about your dad. I just thought it was right. It was right to back you up. And, okay, I'm not really sorry that I backed you up on that, because what they did to you was wrong. It was wrong. At least I'm a righteous person that, you know, because I have anything against you right now, does not mean that I won't defend somebody if they're actually really right. And something really egregious has been done to them, like making fun of your dad's death. I thought that was horrible. I thought it was horrible. It was unnecessary. But they did it. They did it to all of us, really. To a lot of us. It's nothing new. It's nothing new on here. But you know goddamn well, why don't you deny that? That I came to your corner, Mr. Stillman. I came to your corner, Joey. Didn't I? Yeah. Deny that. That's all I gotta say. As far as everything else goes, folks, let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Toss the dice and see where it goes. That's life in itself, isn't it, really? Do what you need to do, and I'll do what I need to do. How's that? How's that a deal? Go on with your life, I'll go on with mine. Sorry, but I can't always provide you the needed entertainment that you want. There's plenty of characters out there you can get some entertainment from. We got one, a couple of them definitely. They'll give you all the entertainment that you want. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying, folks? That's it, folks. Knock yourselves out.